All right, I'm recording. Ready when you are.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the College Town Podcast. My name is Derek DeBerger. With me in the same city, different place, is Sam Roth.
How are we doing, guys? This time it's me for the reason why we're doing Zoom.
We're just going back and forth. At this point,
I
who
know, right?
yeah, who even needs to keep track? So it's finally upon us. The the preseason uh episode for college football. College football, as of recording this, is 4 days, 5 days. As of
Yep.
recording, it's 5 days away. As of this episode coming out, will be 4 days away.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, give it to me, right, straight in my vein,
Yeah, I know. Here we are.
just right here. I'm a queasy guy, but give it to me anyway. Uh, we have a couple of quickie bits of news, but that we're just gonna knock out of the way because that's kind of there's like no news,
No, there really isn't. There's not too much to speak of right now.
and that's how programs want it, really.
Exactly.
The first bit of news, we'll talk about Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State first, because that one's a little quicker. It might devolve into a conversation, but we'll see. Um, Mike Gundy was being interviewed by media, and he told the media in Stillwater that he's basically have to he's had to tell his players to stop asking for more NIL and focus on football. And when he did that, he said practices got a lot better. Um, it's interesting because I mean, we knew this would happen. It's become a business.
Oh yeah.
It's been a business for a while. It's just now players can get their fair share in a sense.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we've heard about this. I think this is the biggest time that this is blown up nationally, but we have heard about this at other stops. I mean, locally, uh, Jeff Brom kicked a lot of people off of Louisville's team in the spring transfer portal window because
Sure
they were
did.
trying to demand more NIL money. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "We're gone. You're gone. You're gone." Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and this obviously seems to be happening pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, there was I don't remember the exact quote. I didn't write it down. There was a quote from Mike Gundy where he was like, "I don't want to hear another player mention their agent to me. We're just talking about football." And it's like, yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
probably that's probably annoying coming from what football was, and also the agents aren't really regulated that heavily.
No, and it's also one of those things where as like it's weird because these players are getting paid, but they're not getting paid contractually. Like they're to an extent there is some contract, but then also there's like it's not like set in stone, if you will, for like the period of time that they're going to get paid or whatever. Plus, you're also dealing with extremely young adults here who just probably view it as like they want more than maybe they're worth, and everyone does.
I mean, it's so new that there's not really like there aren't customs for this yet.
Yeah. There's not
Like
like a rules and regulations yet for how to operate this.
there's also not unspoken rules too. There's not like,
Right.
hey, why are you gonna beg for more money right before the season starts? You're stuck here anyway. Like that kind of thing. It's like why would you do that? It doesn't seem smart. And I think it's because there's a lot of really greedy agents that don't have to go through a lot of hoops to become an agent for college sports right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, more money, more money, more money. And it's like that's gotta be infuriating.
Yeah.
But you know,
Who knows, honestly.
I think I think in some ways this issue will grow, and I think in some ways it will sort itself out.
But then also imagine like the other spectrum of it where your head coach has been in the game for 20 plus years, or who knows how long Gundy has been in the game, or Jeff Brom for that matter. And then all of a sudden you have to deal with this new avenue or new part of your sport where all of a sudden these kids have a little bit more of a say on things. And you're just like, in a way, you kind of have to appease them, but at the same time, you don't. It's not like a fine line you have to manage where you can't just beat the crap out of these players on the practice field and then they show up for you on Saturday because if you do that, they're going to be gone by next fall.
I mean, I mean, Dan Hurley had a quote. He said now that he feels like he can coach harder now that there's NIL because there's less of like a them hiding behind amateurism.
Mm.
It's like, no, you're professionals now. You're getting paid to go to UConn. I'm gonna coach you like this is your job.
Ah,
That argument.
yeah,
I mean, it just depends on. I don't know. I think some coaches can get away with coaching really, really hard because they're like, yeah, I'm coaching hard because I'm a good coach. You want to go
yeah,
somewhere where they're not gonna, if you make a mistake, they're not gonna make you run laps.
yeah.
Go,
And
you're gonna lose.
there is that argument to be made where it's like, are you going to go after more money now and maybe less money later because you're affecting your development for the next level? There is that other argument where there's an avenue to make more money, but also it's like, how many players really think that they can make it to the next level and aren't just trying to capitalize off the opportunity they have right now?
Yeah, and you have to. And I'm not against leveraging your status as a player to get more NIL. I think that's great. Specifically in Mike Gundy's case, you can't transfer. The season's about to start.
Yeah.
Just talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's locked in at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very, very, very sympathetic to Mike Gundy in this situation. Something I never really thought I'd say. But I think we've exhausted that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to the other bit of quick news. This is kind of a crazy one. So Notre Dame's men's swimming team has gotten the death penalty
There's no longer swimming at Notre Dame, is what you're telling me?
for the 2024-25 athletic year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No swimming at Notre Dame for the men. It stems from internally at Notre Dame, uh the swimmers
Yeah.
team decided because you can't gamble on like FanDuel or whatever. So they decided, let's make an internal book and let's place odds on like, oh, do we think this person's gonna win this heat? Do we think they're gonna, like what are the odds that they like place? And they would bet on their own teammates and they got caught and they got the death penalty for this
With
upcoming.
with an underground bookie, basically? Like
Yep.
what?
Yep.
On swimming?
Yep. On their own swimmer. Yeah.
What?
It's crazy. I mean, we were just talking like a couple weeks ago about uh the punishments that Michigan's gonna be getting,
Mm-hmm.
Jim Harbaugh and the cheeseburgers,
Yeah.
plus the Connor Stallion stuff. And we were kind of saying like, they're really not gonna get punished that severely. At worst, like maybe Sharon Moore gets like a suspension for like a few.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan has to pay a huge fine, but that's it. That's all they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, NCAA is like, no, 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 you're not swimming. And it doesn't seem like Notre Dame's really fighting back on this. I don't blame them. It's not. It's. I mean, a. It's not a revenue sport, so
It's swimming.
they're like, darn. But B. That's bad. That's
Yeah.
bad because that could easily get into the territory of like fixing a
Yeah.
very quickly.
It definitely affects the integrity of the sport, and if that affects the integrity, we've already talked about this kind of.
Yeah.
You don't have a sport.
Yeah. And so, I mean, this is one of those situations where it's like, yeah, Notre Dame's Notre Dame men's swimming got caught. That's
Yeah.
not really that big a story. But if it's happening there, it's happening other places, other sports. And it's like if you're the NCAA, you've got to nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
You got it. Like that's like the NFL. However many years ago, it was a couple years ago at this point, maybe three, where they were like, "Oh, if you're gambling, cool, you're banned for the entire season.
Yeah.
Care what capacity you were gambling."
Or even if it's gambling on another sport.
Exactly. They were like the Lions players.
Yeah, they got caught gambling like NBA games or something.
They were caught gambling on NBA games or whatever sport it was,
Yeah.
not the just in team facilities.
Yeah.
They got massive suspensions. It's because you have to crack down on this.
You don't want anything close to gambling close to a sport.
This is one of the again
You might as well script sports.
two stories in a row. I can't believe I'm saying this. I am completely on the NCAA side.
Yeah.
Two parties I never thought I'd have sympathy for: NCAA and Mike
You
Gundy.
got yeah.
I mean, is there anything else that you want to say about that one?
No, not really. Not top of my head.
How do you think they come up with the odds for
That
swimming? Hard,
so
right?
I imagine you would look at times, really, like in each like what is everyone's PR, like their own personal record in each swim, and that's what I would probably base the odds off of.
Okay. Do you think there's like, do you think their time and practices?
I bet the times are probably somewhere from prior races. Like
I mean, but
it has to be.
if you really get into it, you could like I could see like bench warmers time in practices, like freshmen time in practice, and be like, oh, he's slow. He's slow
I
this
mean,
week.
I don't know about swimming, but I can't imagine you're doing probably a little bit more than just your actual meet, like
Yeah, that'd be
you
crazy.
know,
That'd be some crazy hazing, forcing the forcing the freshmen on the team to run an underground book.
running an underground, yeah, like bookie system. Yeah.
That
That is more crazy to me than anything is the fact that they were able to, I mean, it is Notre Dame, smart kids, but it's like it's impressive to me to set odds and run a book like that. And I don't know, it's like who's making money here, like usually you make a bookie to like make money and set the odds in favor of yourself, but enough to get people to actually bet. So it's like who's actually making money here, or was it just for fun? Like was it
it,
one or two or three people running the book? Like also how do you have the capital to run a book?
I don't know. I feel like people were just like putting their own money down, and I don't think there was like a house.
Oh,
I haven't looked fully into this, but I don't
mm,
think house. I think they were just kind of like, who you got, and then
um,
split up like whoever, like whatever money is put in by the losing party, just split it up.
mm, I got you. It's like I got you.
It's my guess, but
It's
I
kind of
can't
like a Friday night poker game, if you will.
a little bit.
So
Yeah.
some people are leaving winners, some people are leaving losers that week.
All right. Before we move on to preseason predictions, you brought up
Mm,
poker. I'm curious about this. Are you good at poker?
It's hard to say. I think I'm decent.
I'm terrible at poker. No one ever admits when they're bad at poker. I'm awful at poker.
Yeah.
I'm like the first person to go out every single time.
Mm,
And I'm not even that aggressive a player. I'm bad.
says
I just,
otherwise. I mean,
I I'm bad at it. I don't know.
maybe you're just
Jake,
unlucky.
if you're watching this and you know, we're playing for money, you know who to target. I'm really bad. All right.
All right.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
5 days as of recording, 4 days when this goes up until college football is played.
Hmm.
American football is played in Dublin.
Yeah.
She
Oh, that is right. Yeah.
The WWE wrestler Sheamus was announced as the guest picker
Huh.
because they're in Ireland, I guess. But
I mean, if
you
you
know,
saw him, it makes sense, but
yeah,
was
I'm not a WWE guy, but I get it.
uh-huh.
All right, let's jump into it. Would you want to do playoff slash champion picks first?
Whatever. Whatever
Got it.
whatever you want to do.
Let's go there.
Okay.
Um, I'll give you the two. We have both had busy weeks, so we really haven't had a ton of time to prepare this.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna go off of my uh what we already did as our conference predictions,
Mm-hmm.
plus who I think is going to be the group of five representatives. So
Oh, okay.
my 12 teams in the playoff, just trying to go off the top of my head: Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, uh, Oregon, Ohio State, USC. I'm putting USC in there.
Fair enough.
Utah, Clemson, Let me see. What am I at? What am I at?
That seems like 8.
That is indeed 8. Wow, there's 12 teams. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, you
Lot.
had SMU winning the ACC.
I had SMU winning the regular season. I'll put SMU in there. Give me SMU. Um, yeah, give me Kansas.
Who's your group of 5 school?
Arizona. Arizona. Well, give me Arizona.
Okay,
I'll say they upset in the Big 12 championship.
fair enough.
Throw Penn State in there. Why not?
And then your group of 5 school.
Texas State.
Interesting.
Texas State. I'm telling you, I love their coach. Don't know his name. Came from Incarnate Word.
Okay.
He last season was his first season as their head coach,
And
and
they did
they
a lot of transfers.
popped. They just popped last year. They,
Mm,
last year they had the second most transfers in the country behind Colorado.
I got you.
They won 8 games last year. I think that they're going to upgrade again, personally.
Hey,
And yeah, I think they're going to the college football playoff. I think it's either them or Liberty.
okay. Yeah.
And then if I had to pick one team to win the national championship, I'd pick Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah. So who you got? Who again? These are very much off the top of our head.
Yeah, it's gonna be off the top of my head. So, I'm probably gonna forget some. So, SEC, it is Georgia and Ole Miss. I think are definitely in. Um, 9-3 is what I had Bama at. I'm not sure if they get in. I have Texas in. Uh, I would now have Utah. Probably Kansas State is in. Uh, Oregon, Ohio State. I had Miami winning the ACC for me.
That's 8.
Um, I also have, gosh, I wish I had this in front of me. Mm,
Would you have? Do you have Clemson playing Miami in the championship?
no, I
ACC.
don't think Clemson's. No.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember my other ACC team.
Think
I'm
Florida.
really, um, it might have been Florida State. I'm not too sure. I'm struggling there because I'm not sure how they're gonna do. I personally like Liberty as my group of 5,
Okay. Don't
and yeah,
got 3 more.
um, Utah, Kansas State, I already said. Let's throw in Bama, Penn State, and Oklahoma State. I don't know.
Oklahoma
It,
State.
it
Go.
just doesn't make sense though, because like there's gonna be another ACC team in there, I feel like, and I just forgot who I had.
I don't know.
So I mean, it's
It's
it's not ideal, but it's also not perfect world either.
in my head when I was because we like I said we didn't have a ton of time to prepare
Yeah,
this week. I was like, oh, 12 teams. I got this. I know which 12 teams.
well,
And
I
then I
have
was
no
doing it. I was
clue.
like, Christ, there's that many teams that
It's
make the
half of the
playoff.
top 25 make the playoff now. It's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. I love it. I
No,
love it
I mean, not like that type of ridiculous. It's just like it's a lot.
compared to what we're used to. It's
Oh my
definitely
God.
all right. Uh, who you got as your Heisman pick?
I am going with Quentin Ewers.
Quinn Ewers. All right. I like Quinn Ewers. He's good. I don't know. I don't see him win the Heisman, but I don't hate it. I'm going a little crazy with my pick because it's very, very, very dependent on this person staying healthy for the duration of a season, and that
Yeah,
would be Jalen Daniels.
I was about to say it's. I had two in mind, and I love that actually. I would love to see Kansas pop off.
I think if he can win, I think if he can play at least 11 games, I think he can win the Heisman easily.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's that good. The offense is that dependent on him. He also, his style of play, like he's a
Just
v- he's a good college passer. He's also a great athlete. And at running back, they have Devin Neal, who is criminally underrated.
mm-hmm.
It's
Oh, he's
been
so good.
years. He's phenomenal. So like if teams just start keying in on Jalen Daniels, like Stop him. Stop him.
He's got Devin Neal.
And then that just lets the steam off.
Mm-hmm.
And crap, what do we do? I I I think if he's healthy, he can easily win the Heisman. I think obviously the only two things I think that holding him back from winning the Heisman would be health and
Team
people.
performance.
No, because I think if he is healthy all year, then I think they'll win a ton of games.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But I think there's a lot of people that don't want to give the Heisman to someone from Kansas. I think there's a lot of voters that if it were down between like Quinn Ewers and Jalen Daniels, they'd go with Quinn Ewers because it's Texas.
Yeah, I could see it.
Voters don't. There there are a lot of good old boys in college football media. A lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to give the Heisman to someone from Kansas. Kansas is historically a trash football school. Hate to
Yeah,
say it, but they just are.
they
All right.
sure are.
Three hot takes. We did this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh I was right about one of mine actually. And then I think
Really?
extremely wrong about two of them.
Okay.
Last year I said that the Pac-12 would be the best conference in football.
It's honestly not a wrong take.
I nailed that, I
It's
think.
pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Nailed that one. And then I also said Texas would not be back and that Clemson's offense would be fantastic under Gary Riley. I was so wrong about both of those.
Yeah.
So wrong about both of those. Uh, I I don't know. I didn't have a ton of time to prepare. Um, Unlike last year where I actually thought about those for quite some time. So let's just do back and forth. Let's just try to
All right.
fire them off. Okay, hot take. I think Jamie Chadwell. I don't know how hot a take this is, but I think Jamie Chadwell is going to be the hottest name come the coaching carousel.
Hmm.
Liberty's coach. I think he's a great coach. I think he is an up and comer. I think he wants a big job. You know, he left. He jumped from Coastal Carolina to Liberty because Liberty can give him more money. Who can give more money than Liberty?
A
Power
fair
Five.
bit of team. Yeah.
Yeah, not every Power Five school actually, because Liberty has televangelist money.
Yeah.
But no, I think there will be some jobs that come calling, and I think he will be the hottest name.
Okay.
All right, what do you got for me?
Michigan will finish outside the top 25 this year.
Okay, okay, you've been on that train.
I'm
You have definitely been on that train.
hmm I just don't see it. I really don't see it with the amount of players they've lost, the amount of coaching they've lost. They've lost a lot. I just don't think they're going to recoup.
I mean, I personally don't agree with you. I do think they've got the defense
Hmm.
to stay in the top 25, and the scheme is solid. You know, like
Hmm.
whenever they hired Sharon Moore, I think that was when the tide started to change for Michigan because that offense for the past 3 years has just been Sharon Moore's offense. Um, you know, I do think he showed a drop off as far as
Hmm.
coach acumen from John Harbaugh from when he had to come in the games that Harbaugh was suspended. Jim Harbaugh.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
uh, but no, I think
They
I
did
think
win four straight while he was out, but they were all pretty easy games. The hardest game was probably Rutgers.
yeah, yeah. But actually, no, I think Rutgers was when Harbaugh came back.
Oh, was he? He only got suspended for the three games and came back for the fourth?
Yeah, yeah, because then they destroyed Rutgers.
Right. Okay.
Um, no, I think they have enough to stay ranked,
Okay.
especially considering they're ranked top 10 in the AP to start this season.
All right.
So, all right, my next hot take. For some people, this will be downright blasphemous because they're adamant that no, 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 guys, it's already a power two. I think one of the top two seeds in the playoff is going to come from outside the SEC or the Big Ten. And I have a specific school in mind. I think it's going to be Utah.
Top two. You're basically saying Utah's going to be perfect, though.
I think so.
Could be.
I think if they do slip up and go like 11-1, um, they're going to give the nod to someone else. So
Mm.
this is hinging on
Utah having a perfect regular season.
very very good, which I think they will be very very good.
You also are banking on Cam Rising staying healthy,
Well, yeah, he's only ever not been healthy once,
but he's missed 2 seasons now?
one season.
Thought he missed two.
He missed all of last year, year before he tore his ACL in the Rose Bowl.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
he's missed an entire year. Fun fact though, Cam Rising is the oldest quarterback in college football.
It makes sense. The amount of red shirts he's had.
He's 25.
Yeah, that adds up.
Yep. All right. What do you got? Hot take number two.
Ole Miss will be in the SEC championship.
Is that a hot take?
I don't think it's really a hot one. I just look at it from a standpoint of that would require that they have to be better than at least 2 out of the 3 teams that a lot of people have in front of them in Texas, Georgia, and Bama.
Yeah.
So I think like it's not necessarily a hot take, but I do think it is in the minority of takes.
I mean, I personally, I think that they're going to be in the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Like I think this is the year for LSU as far as
Mm-hmm. Or Ole Miss. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry. I'm messing up a lot of names today. I don't know why.
Hey, it is what it is.
Um, I think Ole Miss could genuinely win the national championship.
Yeah.
I think they have that kind of talent this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a crazy take, but according to that one dude in our comments of top 25,
Yeah.
it is a crazy take for him. So I see where you're coming from. All right. God, hot take number three. I don't know. Colorado makes a bowl game. Except I don't believe that.
Except
I
for
don't,
the thing about that one though is that like the books have it one way and the consensus online have it another way from what we've seen. But then also it's like I feel like it's such a small sample size from what we have.
I think there's a lot of closeted, like die-hard Dion Colorado supporters. And I think the second that they show signs of being good, whether they actually end up being good or not, the second they show signs of it, I think there's a lot of people that were like, boom, Sco Buffs, baby. Sco Buffs. And I don't have faith in Colorado this year. I don't.
Mm.
I think I had more faith before A, I looked at the schedule, and B, how I saw how Deion Sanders was like reacting to negative press. He is not handling it well.
No, he's not.
Um, it could be a good motivator. I don't know. I don't know what he's like in the locker room, but
Who
I just don't.
knows?
Yeah. So that's not my hot take. All that to say, I don't think Colorado's in this year. Mm, I don't know. You know what? Here's my hot take. The Big Ten is going to be the worst power conference this year.
That is a hot take. That is the worst out of
Here's
the
my ration.
four.
Here's my rationale. I think not. They may not have the worst bottom, but I think they're going to have the worst middle, and I think their middle is going to be big because I think there's like
But
5 teams on top.
right.
It's an 18 team conference. That's not that's you know 5 teams is not a lot in the grand scheme of things. So I think there's like 5 teams on top, and then I think the middle is like 12 teams, like 10 to 12 teams, And I think it's just going to be a lot of below average football.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are going to be a few teams that are average that end
Mm-hmm.
up 8-4 records that really aren't that good.
Yeah.
That's my rationale behind it.
We'll see.
See, when I explain it, it doesn't. It's not the craziest thing in the world, right?
Yeah, I guess the way you word it, but I still think the ACC out of the Power Four is going to be the worst.
We'll see. I think I like the middle of the ACC a lot more than I like the middle of the Big Ten. In all honesty, I like the top of the Big Ten a whole lot more than I like the top of the ACC. Um, but the middle, I think it's not even
I
comparable.
think it's going to go SEC, Big Ten, Big 12,
I would say
and then ACC.
SEC, Big 12, ACC, Big 10, because I'm sticking to this.
Yeah, that is a hot take. No, I don't see that one bit.
All right, all right. What do you got? What do you got for your final hot take?
Oh my gosh, I honestly don't know. Um, you know what? I'm gonna be on this train because not too many people are gonna be on this train. I believe Florida will make a bowl game. Do I think Billy Napier will keep his job making a bowl game? Maybe not, but
He probably needs to win. Like,
they will be the best 6-6 team.
you've been saying that for a while too.
They are going to be the best 6-6 team.
They go 6-6.
He's
I,
fired.
I don't think they're the best 6-6 team.
I do.
Don't.
That schedule is ridiculous.
It is a
No,
different schedule, but I just don't think that they're like clearly like, oh yeah, that's the best 6-6 team if they go 6-6.
hey, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see if some
Honestly, it's all top of the dome. There's probably some better hot takes out there. I just can't think of them.
these are some spicy takes. All right. You got anything else? Because I
I,
mean, it's a light week.
yeah, there's not too much going on. No, just our pick'ems.
We have our pick'ems. That's right.
Yeah,
Back, back by popular demand.
I'd be surprised with these pick'ems if we don't have something different.
If we, you'll be surprised if we don't have.
Different. If we differentiate on any of these games, I'll be surprised.
Oh yeah, no. There's 4 games. They're so chalk.
Yeah,
I um, we'll save the best one for last, which is ironically going to be the first game played.
yeah.
But last. Okay, Montana State versus New Mexico.
Don't know too much about either of these teams, but I'm going to Mexico.
Give me Montana State.
Why not?
Look, man, they're a good FCS school. I think
They are made the playoffs.
they did. I mean, they routinely make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Did they either made the semifinals or they made the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I know there was a Montana team. I forget it was Montana or Montana State that made the semifinal.
Montana made the national championship. Uh,
Mm,
I think Montana State, however, I think they did make the. No, I think they made the quarterfinals. Yeah,
I
Montana
gotcha.
the quarterfinals, I believe.
Okay,
Um, it's like New Mexico is not that good an FBS team.
I
Montana
gotcha.
is a good FCS team. They have been better in the past, but I don't know. I'm just picking them just to pick them, in all honesty. All right, next up, we have SMU versus Nevada. I believe all of these, except for Florida State, Georgia Tech, are actually just at the schools that are
Mm-hmm.
hosting SMU at Nevada. I'm gonna go with SMU.
Yeah, SMU.
I don't think it's close.
I don't think so either.
Okay, another one that is not close. Delaware State versus Hawaii. Hawaii.
Yeah, it's Hawaii.
Delaware State, I believe, is an HBCU in FCS.
Really?
I believe so. I could be wrong about that.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong too.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, they're not a good FCS school, and I think Hawaii's better than New Mexico. So
Yeah.
okay, game of the week, because of course it is. Florida State at Georgia Tech, college game day in Dublin. Who you got?
Give me Florida State.
I'm also taking Florida State. I think that this is going to be a one possession game.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I think Brent Key is such a good coach when they are the obvious underdogs.
Mm.
Give them a whole offseason prepare. Georgia Tech has a very good offense. I don't think DJU is going to be that good. I really don't. I like he's
I
a
forgot about that.
mhm.
I
He's
totally forgot that's who their quarterback is.
um I could see a world where if this game turns into a shootout, then Georgia Tech wins.
Yeah, possibly.
Difference is Florida State's gonna have a really good defense. They're gonna
Yeah.
have a really good defense.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm taking Florida State, but by a possession.
Hey, all right.
All right, that is our show. Not much to talk about this week. We'll have a lot more to talk about next week. Um, anything you want to add before we go?
No, not really. That's about all she wrote.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be back in person. Thanks for watching this to this point, Jacob. Uh, all right, we'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.